Yes. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the episode 2 of Expert Talk Series, an initiative by CMR Technical Campus. Today we have a guest with us. His name is Peter Lakaraju. He is the founder of Stumax. Stumax is a student discovery and digital campus platform which has been pan-India. Like Stumax is on a mission to connect students. It has been Stumax is almost in 300 plus colleges. Stumax helps students with discovering their talents, getting more opportunities, and connecting with industry experts, mentors, and all. Today's topic is all about importance of internship and what are the different opportunities how a student can leverage, and that's it. Like I invite Sri Lakaraju for this session now.
First of all, good afternoon, everyone. I know it's a Sunday afternoon, and people. Am I audible now? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir. Continue. Please continue.
Yeah. So first of all, I know there are like series of webinars which are happening, and these are very testing times that people are going through. And on a solar eclipse day, people say that you should not do any job, you should not do any work apart from that. So I thought, like, let's say, it's a better opportunity to connect with everyone. First, I thank Srujan Rajagaru, CMRTC management, and lots of alumni, Nikhil, and everyone else who has coordinated this session. First, I think we have different students. I wanted to understand which type of students are there, which year. You can just type like which year and branch you belong to in the chat so that I can just keep understanding the type of audience we have today, so that we can stay as relevant as possible in our conversation. Because I don't want you guys should feel like, okay, fine, these are like bouncers or okay, second years and third years, CSEs and mechanical.
MBA is also available, sir.
MBA is also available. Okay. Okay, guys. So good to see there's a mixture of crowd. People are very curious about. So when I was discussing, Nikhil said, like, let's say we are covering different topics in as part of these sessions. I thought, why can't we talk about something which is more relevant about the whole part of virtual internships now, and what are we hearing about virtual internships? And there are some myths which are need to be busted. When I said myth, there are lots of confusion about the word called internship. People don't understand the difference between a hobby project, academic project, and an internship. So how to find a difference with all the three words which we see. So guys, like when you see a word internship, why this word is becoming more important about the practical education now. When you see, let's say we start with a doctor, a medico doing an internship is a very normal thing. A medico, apologies. A medico doing an internship is a very, very normal thing, or a house surgeon, or a doctor doing a kind of a house surgeon in the final year. When you go to a kind of mute. Yeah, sorry. These normal things which we need to get adjusted. Okay. So when a medico is doing something like an internship, it's all about how practically he implements. So what is the difference between a normal internship and an engineering internship? When you see a normal engineer going to a practical lab and implementing something, it is like you just learned something and you're implementing it. I'll tell you, if you watch a swimming video, if you watch a swimming video, can you swim? It's like if you just watch a swimming video, can you learn the art of swimming? Is the first basic thought. Because most of the times, people which work or thoughts which work in theory might not work when you do something which is very practical. And when you are doing lots of things today, post-COVID scenario, now people are talking about there is a requirement which is very decreasing, the hiring is getting decreased. How can we face such situation? And how can we differentiate? Because people say freshers need experience. I cannot hire a fresher. I need people who are ready to deploy. But again, people keep up the question saying that, okay, fine, freshers don't have experience. How can a fresher have work experience? Is the first question which should be there on a student's mind. And the second question a student should be bearing on their mind is like, there are 60 students in a class. A Srikar from a CSC second year, how can a Srikar differentiate himself from his whole class? Because if a Srikar differentiates himself from the whole class, he can attract an employer, he can attract a HR, saying that in my past 4 years, I have worked on various projects. I have completed so and so assignments. I have worked with different set of people. So how can an individual add extra to the ordinary? Because when I said extra, extraordinary, the word extraordinary has extra to the ordinary things. So to sum it up, like there are two angles to it. One, it's no debate question that someone has to do internships. But before going to doing internships, because we always use something like what, why, how, when, because we always ask these questions. What is an internship? Why do you need to do an internship? How you should do an internship? When you should do an internship? Because if you answer this why, what, how, when questions, 90% of the answers get popped up there itself. So now someone doing an MBA or someone doing an electrical engineering, someone doing a computer science engineering, irrelevant of the branch, there are few things you do in a very broader perspective. One is core, one is non-core. When you talk about internships, there is something called core area. When I say core, if someone belongs to MBA finance, finance is the core area. Mechanical is the core area. Computer science is the core area. And a non-core can be anything. Non-core can be a marketing for a finance guy. For an engineering guy, a digital marketing can be a non-finance guy, a non-core area. A civil engineering guy, for him, anything not related to civil becomes the non-core area. Sometimes some civil guys want to take up an electrical project. A civil guy wants to take up a marketing project. So why we should do a balance or strike a balance between a core and a non-core area? Because to become a complete person, to become a complete engineer, you always have to have an idea about the whole plus pro core things and against core things, the non-core areas also. So when you come to, because today we are talking about social distancing, today we are talking about post-COVID scenario online, and this is the first time I'm talking to CMR Technical Campus guys, but through virtually. But CMR Technical Campus, I always love to come down to the campus and talk in an auditorium. So now when we are accepting these changes, companies are also thinking that we need to change according to the times. So now people are talking about more into the area of virtual internships. And these virtual internships not only help students to save cost, and there's no need for you to travel with a minimal stipend that company gives. But before, what are virtual internships? What are the areas where virtual internships are possible? First, in the core area, 99% of the core companies require you to work with the machinery, or you have to require with the work with the team, the peer group and stuff. In the core area, there are few companies which look at giving off design opportunities. Because when you say design, there are lots of simulation softwares which are available online. When you approach a company and say that, okay, sir, I want to work on the design area, I want to work on the R&D area, it's when you approach them, they try to look at you as a potential opportunity or a potential intern for their company in the core area. But I'm talking about civil guys. But civil or mechanical or electrical or electronics, these core sectors, doing virtual internships in the core area might become a bit tougher task beyond a point because of the limitations of what we have online. But what I can say in the design area for all these core sectors, there are possibilities where you can work in the design of components, design of circuits, design where you learn certain design language and then implement it in those companies. Guys, don't confuse between learning a course, doing a project, and doing an internship. Three things are different. 99% of people confuse with one word to another. When some people say, okay, you need to pay for an internship. Generally, for internship, you don't pay. They pay to you, or you work for free. For a course, you pay. For a project, you pay. So to give certain internship, people expect you to be skilled in particular technology. So most of the cases, people misunderstand with internship with a project. A lot of people say, okay, you need to. I'm doing an internship. I paid X amount. You are not doing an internship after paying an amount. You are doing a course or a project. After learning that course or doing that project, you should implement in a real-time company. Then it's called as an internship. For the definition of internship, most of the times, if you understand the logic there, I learned Python. I implemented Python in a project. Then I implemented the Python on a real-time data set in a company. Then it's like course, project, and internship. So if you understand these basics, for computer science guys in the core sector, the basic skill set, because a lot of people keep asking like, I need an internship, but they don't equip themselves with the skill. If you don't, there is no first year, second year, third year, or fourth year. You can do as many. Say people expect at least to do 2 to 3 internships in their course duration. But I keep telling, with the virtual thing, you can do even more, because you should know how to space your time and manage things. If it was a physical thing, there's a limitation of time, there is a travel involved, there's a college involved, lots of things. But today, when you have a virtual kind of a opportunity, there is no need for you to do only 2 internships or 1 internship or something like that. You can do more works, but how to approach it? Because now there is a company, let's say I run a company called Stumax. Now, most of them should understand what is a tech stack which is followed. If you know, okay, there is a tech stack which is used like Python, then you should say like, sir, in your company, what is a tech stack? If the tech stack is Python, okay, sir, I am good at Python. I did some projects. I learned a course. Can I work as an intern on a particular module in your esteemed organization? If you approach people in this manner, it makes more sense for the business owner also to look at or to consider you. A lot of times people think that, okay, fine, how many people will get internships? Very few people get internships. And most of them don't get internships because you should know someone to get an internship. A lot of have this misunderstanding saying that more than what you know, you should always know whom you know to get an internship. But if you approach, your direction, your way of approach decides whether you get an internship or not. And most of the cases, people say, I need an internship. It's a regular way of asking people. But the way if you change, the way you present yourself, if you in a different manner, at least it will excite the other person to strike a conversation with you. If you say, there are lots of cybersecurity guys have this habit. They say, I found a vulnerability in your company. The moment they ask, I found a vulnerability in your company, I found the online logging system to be different, immediately the other person will call you. And he says, can you just help us on the vulnerability, which is what is the problem? And I was talking to the recent use case. We were working with a consulting company. Through Stumax, we help people get right internships. And one of the companies which wanted cybersecurity penetration testing guys. And we connected 2 to 3 people. So the moment they asked the profile, without sending the profile, this student has found out a vulnerability in their website and just took the screenshot and has sent it. Just imagine the company owner will not even ask any more questions. He'll say, okay, boss, please come down, solve the problem, fix it. So the kind of a pragmatic or a practical approach that a student has, a lot of companies look at these people because these are low-cost resources. At the same time, they're very high-skilled resources and self-learned people. Because if you find a self-learned person, it is always an advantage rather than training a person and then implementing it. Because self-learned person always learns something from all possible use cases, not just on a superficial level. But when you talk about course thing, Python, there are lots of opportunities. Mobile app designing, there are a lot of opportunities. UI, UX, there are lots of opportunities because UI, UX is one sector which is growing like anything. If someone has a sense of design, if they know what works,
if they know how an app should be, if they know how the colors should be, how the coding should be, how the whole look should be, aesthetics, if they have an aesthetic sense, there is lots of scope in the market because there's lots of depth of right talent in the area of UI UX. And it is something which is learned on a self-learn. And when you work in internships, it just not adds a certificate to your portfolio. It gives you a network, you meet new people, and you get exposure and you learn lots of things and you unlearn lots of things. Because more than learning, it is about unlearning. Guys, are you following? Are you am I making something sensible? A talk? Am I making sense? If yes, type yes in the comments, in the chat box, because I feel like I should not take away your valuable time on a Sunday. If I'm
No, absolutely.
Thank you. So hope I'm adding value. Good. The response itself is this. So guys, now in the core area, when you look at things, there's always a lack of lots of latest technologies, and students are the people who should build a profile. Because when you are going into the final year, lots of mistakes, if you see in your esteemed organization CMRTC, often you see a lot of people getting good jobs and getting one person getting an opportunity in a particular company with a decent package or salary package and stuff. Why do few people get that opportunities? Because the whole idea is we look at preparing for a job interview in the final year. And when you go there, we try to give our resume, which is not that interesting, and there is not much work which is being done. So I keep telling people from the first year of their undergraduation, which is BTech or BSc or MBA or whatever it is, like the first year, how you start building your profile. And these internships are like a feather in a cap. So you do an internship with someone, you work with an organization, you work with, let's say, your alumni owns Digital Connect, and someone working with Digital Connect. The moment you learn some digital marketing skill, and he gives you an experience certificate saying that you work with Digital Connect and you can earn something, money will follow the skill. I'm not talking about just earning money. People who just look at earning money, they don't create a value, you won't last long. So, but I have an idea, if you say like a first year guy can be flexible, he can learn anything. He can be a content writer, he can be a basic Photoshop designer. These are all the non-core areas. These are not technology assisted things. If you are a good writer, if you're a good designer, if you're a good sketch artist, if you can be anything where you add some value. You can do a market research. You can work with an organization to do a user validation survey. You can work with an organization as a volunteer, kind of a thing, where you have or you add value to your profile. Because in your final year or when you go to the next internship, you always have a stories to tell in your resume, the real stories. Because you can, let's say, any interview, any job interview or an MS interview or an IIM interview or an IAS interview, the kind of work which you project in your resume always gets that attention from the judges or from the HRs and stuff, because they look at things which are not there in others' resume. Because you say, I did an internship on Python at so-and-so institute, is not a great bullet point in your resume. But when you worked as a Python developer in certain company, then he'll ask, what was the product? Because it is not project. He says, what is the product? What does the company do? Is it a services company or a product company? Then you will say, sir, I was an amateur Python developer. They gave me a module in the whole product. That product was so-and-so. That was in the so-and-so sector. It was in healthcare, education, or logistics. Then I added certain value. I've spent around 30, 40 days. I understood few things. I learned few things. I became a better person. So when you tell the stories in the resume and the interview, what happens is they see you in a very, very different angle, because they feel like, okay, someone knows how to value time. Someone is a constant learner. Someone does learn new things, and they have a great respect for you, and they're not hiring a fresher. They are hiring someone who knows the culture also, who knows how to work in a team, who knows how to report to someone. Because when you're working in an internship, people ask you to report. When you do a report, it's like, when you do something like, okay, I created a report, I created a presentation, others start respecting you and they are hiring a experienced guy. So now Now, in this current scenario, lots of startups, lots of companies for the bottom of the pyramid, because lots of they are doing cost cutting. And this is a very excellent time for people, because if you go and approach a company through LinkedIn, or like a companies like Stumax, when you check out our VIP membership, we help people get internships. So when you create a kind of a persona for yourself, when you create a great profile for yourself, the kind of first step becomes very easier for you. Because you, now most of the companies are removing employees because they want to cut down the cost. Now they need resources, they need freelance resources, they need virtual interns, they need people who will get their work done. Because it's like, I want someone who can get my work done and I'm ready to pay for it. When someone says that, how do you create a dependency for yourself? I know now there is a big lack of designers in the market. People need excellent designers. People want to understand what is the aesthetics, how, which color you have to use, how to compose an image, what is a class image, how can you use less text and convey more. So when you do this, there's lots of potential where you can keep yourself busy. You can start building your network, because I keep telling three things. There are three capitals which are very much needed. One is intellectual capital, the second one is social capital, the third one is financial capital. If you say intellectual capital, the knowledge, your knowledge will start giving you respect, because the others start giving respect to you because of your intellectual capital. The second capital is a social capital, the people whom you know. Because if you create a network, if you start working with people, you start, your work starts speaking for them, and they start respecting you in return. And others start seeing your work and they start asking who did it. So when you work with others, you form your own network, your horizons will expand. It will not be restricted to a college. And the third, financial capital, your money starts coming in, and you start, when you're in student age itself, you start respecting money, you start attracting money, because you start telling like people, okay, fine. Now you start respecting your time more, because now people start paying you to understand the value of time. So I always respect people who do part-time jobs, because I keep telling people, someone who does a part-time job, I have a great respect for them, because it's almost like a virtual internship or a normal internship itself. The work, anything you learn will never go waste in your life. And when you are in college, the right ground, because in medical college has a hospital beside a medical college. Engineering colleges don't have a company beside a college. To give a permission to a medical college, they need to have a hospital, a 100-bedded hospital or a 150-bedded hospital. So these people go and practice there. But an engineering college, the kind of quantum of the number of colleges we have, it is not possible to have a company which is beside the college. So that's the reason people keep on talking about the gap between industry and academia, gap between industry and academia. The moment you start doing internships, the moment you start engaging yourself, you start respecting your time, you start doing more virtual internships, then you start understanding that there is no gap at all, because this is academia, this is industry, and the thing which is connecting is you who is doing a virtual internship too. So I'm open to take questions from the people, so that will be clearing more questions, more answers also. Yeah.
Anybody is having any questions, please post in the chat, ma. Guys, let's wait for typing. Yeah, when is the right time to start internships?
So there is nothing called right time or wrong time for internships. Actually, I was very surprised seeing a +2, an intermediate completed guy wanted to do an internship with Stumax. So there was a time when we cleared +2 intermediate, we used to go and join a C language course long time back in 2004 or 2005. When we completed your +2, we used to go and join someone into any coaching institute. But now people are looking at startups and looking at joining as interns. There's nothing called right time or wrong time. It depends on how you define yourself. Where is you? How do you understand yourself, and what suits you, and how you can improve your skill? So kind of, I keep telling people to have a variety of exposure, because you work with a
education organization, you work with an NGO, you work with a core sector. So try to have 2 to 3 different experiences. Then you know where you suit yourself also. Because rather than joining a wrong job and repenting it later, because it's a very low risky thing when you're in college, if you work with different people, you'll understand what suits you. So a mechanical guy, Nitin has asked a question, a second year mechanical guy, how should he look at? See, you start going to different industries. You know, when we go to different industries and start exposing yourself to those industries and start walking through, you understand whether you're suitable or not, whether you can add some value or not. So that's one thing. And MBA guys have their own thing. Like unless your elective is chosen, you can work with a startup, you can work with an operations company, you can work with a finance area, you can work in marketing. Then you start identifying which one suits you also. So Stumax, as someone asked, like Stumax is all about creating a platform to get discovered by the companies. And our motto was always like, you can follow Stumax, you can check out Stumax app on the Google Play Store, on Apple Store. We created this VIP platform. When we created this VIP platform, which is called as Stumax VIP, the difference between a normal platform and a VIP platform, in a VIP platform, any student should pay basic amount of 1 rupee per day, or we are giving it at a 99 rupees for 3 months. VIP is virtual internship platform, or very important person, we wanted to make him feel privileged. He can do a free course, and again, he can get enrolled himself into an internship with a company where we facilitate. And in the last 2 months, there was an average of 3,000 to 4,000 rupees where students earned when they got through different opportunities working with different companies in the areas of content writing, marketing, designing, and coding, and penetration testing, and now app development also. So if someone learns a course already and he's equipped, he goes through a certain kind of a test by the client, and then he gets an opportunity. One of the online platforms, we keep saying that Stumax is now considered as one of the most sought after platforms in the terms of internships too. Yeah. I'm just going through chat questions. I'm a first year EC student. Yes, you can take it up. You can check out. Final year students, Raghav, I keep telling people when you are in final year, you should be very clear whether you are going in a technical area or non-technical area. Because you should be very clear about your journey and how this internship will add value. If you are going towards MBA, look at going towards marketing internships, market research, or operations, and all such areas. If you're going towards technical area, look at doing technical internships. So guys, when you're 18 and 19, you start understanding yourself better. You know, like, okay, fine, I'm a non-technical guy, I'm a technical guy, and other things. So then you know which one to choose. Nikhil has asked, what's the difference between Internshala, internships, and Stumax? Guys, I keep telling people this, which is a very oftenly asked question by students. There's a listing platform, Internshala, where it helps you to list all the opportunities, where here we work with companies to choose people. So there is something called pull, there's something called push. If you create a skilled profile, you are a VIP member, we search for people who are skilled. Internshala will never call you and say you have an internship. Internshala tells you should go there and apply for it and then wait for it. In our case, we try to go to the student, identify and let him do some course, free course, then given him an opportunity. It is push, pull and push. Pull means someone should come to the platform. Push, if you are part of the platform, you get the information. So then we have more based works also.
Yeah, Kiran, I would like to ask one question that most of the time we are looking at, I hope maybe you are also come across, so many will come and approach, we want internship and like that. But
Right.
later what is happening in the sense they will leave in middle or they will not respond properly or they will not take it up to the end of the things. How exactly they have to plan it?
Very, very apt
in
question.
your perspective?
Very excellent because of this year. Sujan Garu is a senior in the industry, so he might have seen hundreds and thousands of experiences like that. So one main reason is not setting the expectations. Sometimes companies also not set the expectations in the right way first. And they, if you have a proper filtering process to take someone into an internship, it makes the job easier. So the expectations are, if the expectations are clear and they join the internship, it becomes very easier for the company, because company is investing its time and the candidate is also investing his time there. So most of the cases, the skill mapping is not done in a right manner, because they just apply for the sake of application and they feel, okay, fine, I've joined the internship, I get a certificate, my job is done. But most of the cases, if you go to an IIT or if you go to an IIM, lots of times people see internship as a first step for the job, because their internship offer letter is converted into a job offer letter also. So students don't understand the value of it. If a company conveys, like if you complete the internship, then only you will be considered for the job offering after your graduation. If they tell that, there is a seriousness in the whole thing. That is a path, the whole growth path. And some of the times you choose something because you are experimenting and you don't know what it is. It is okay in a first year or a second year or third year of engineering, but in a final year of engineering, in 4-1s and 3-2s, I keep telling people, choose the area where you are good at. Yes, someone has asked another question. I'm just checking. How to connect with HRs? We created this in this VIP platform. Students can directly, once they enroll into the VIP program, like there are HRs who are from different companies where they can have a one-to-one call with, I keep telling people, when you talk to people one-to-one, you can connect with me also through STUMAG VIP program one-to-one. When you connect to one-to-one, you always form a bond with the other person. When you form a bond with the other person, I keep telling people, like, you can always attract, telling them, okay, boss, I have this technology, I know this technology, or else I'm good at marketing, or I'm good at talking. The other person will help you to find an opportunity. A lot of people on Instagram also, they keep messaging, but a message will end in a message. So you can check out Sricharan Lakkaraju on Instagram and just drop a message. I'd reply to you, but it is not a guidance. So we created the HR platform where different HR companies, HRs are there. You can always look at connecting with them on that opportunity too. Yeah. Next one, Sonali. I'm pursuing MBA. Companies are not giving any training on development, but they're only concentrating on their sales. Sonali, again, you put yourself in the shoes of a company owner. Even if you run the company, people expect you to be ready. So I keep telling people who have this complaint, which is a regular one, that I don't have a proper training and stuff. Equip yourself, be a fast learner, and ask right questions. When you are asking right questions, you get answers. If you don't ask questions, you don't get answers. So companies always look at sales because they have their own pressures and they have to be answerable to someone else. So when you are asking right questions, you get answers from the people which make sense for you. Maybe some of the answers which will lead to lots of answers too. Yeah, for you. What is the best internship for MBA students for the pro? Depends on your domain. If you are a finance guy, look at learning a tool, and lots of startups require virtual officers. And marketing, there are lots of opportunities. And any openings for CMRTC student? Yes. There are openings for it's not just for CMRTC. We are talking to CMRTC, but we always accept people who add value, and we add value to them. Yeah.
I'm recalling, Charan, I hope when you have started building up your STUMAG's application, some of our alumni are already part of that particular thing. You have given an internship and encouraged them.
Lots of people, sir, that's a special bond that I have with CMRTC. Even Nikhil was one of the building blocks of STUMAG. Yeah. Many others also have worked with us very closely. And the reason I keep telling people that if you work today, even if they started their own companies, the exposure they get when you work with a startup is very high. It will help people like anything. Yeah. So someone asked a question, SAP.
There are some couple of other 3 questions for there.
Yeah. So what are the best opportunities for an MBA student in building their career in FICO? So Neeraja, I'll tell you SAP, FICO, and these are the technologies which are very niche kind of a sector. It's not where it is implemented everywhere. The moment, SAP, FICO, I keep telling people FICO, it's all about knowing screens. How much time you spend knowing screens. So you should know where this FICO is used. Generally, what happens is SAP is used by bigger companies only. Very normal companies or small level companies cannot afford SAP. And these internships will not be there in the smaller, bigger companies because they don't take a risk of investing their time. So you should choose, if you are going for SAP FICO route, always look at companies which are using SAP FICO and dropping a mail that, okay, boss, I'm ready to work for free. Because I know if you don't have work experience much, then it will not be a very easy task to get a job opportunity in the SAP area. Any robotics internships? Ajay, start looking out for companies. Maybe we can help out if you list out the companies which are working in the area of robotics. T-Works has lots of companies which are working in the area of robotics. And look at 3D printing companies. Because 3D printing companies, there is a connection to the robotics also, because it is involving, and T-Works can help you. Maybe Nikhil can also help you get connected. So through Stumax, we will connect you to the different companies out there. Is internship valid if an easy guy do an ML for computing? Yes. First of all, guys, understand one thing. There is a free internship for easy third year students. Guys, let me put it very clear. EC guy can do AI. Branches are becoming a bit irrelevant. It's about technology, It's about work, how much value you can add. Branches are becoming irrelevant. It's all about new skill set that you are working on it. That's the number one. Second one, someone asked free internship. Please, for God's sake, understand there is nothing called free internship. There is nothing called free or paid. Guys, it is to you, okay? You don't pay for an internship. I'm repeating it again. You don't pay for an internship. You pay for a course. You pay for a platform. You don't pay for an internship. In internship, there are two types. One internship, which is a free, where they don't pay to you because you don't know anything. They need someone, some human. So they teach you and you work for them. So they don't pay. This pro bono, it's a free of cost. Second, they pay you stipend. I know people in IIIT Hyderabad get paid 50,000 rupees per month because they know technology, they know development. So they hire someone and pay in return. I know we are paying 5 to 7,000 to 10,000 rupees for qualified people for internship. So there is nothing called free internship, my dear friend. Yeah.
Karan, I would like to add up something with your permission.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So actually what we have done at CMR Technical Campus is we have established the center. Various centers, Center for Artificial Intelligence, Center for Internet of Things, Center for Mobile and Web Technologies, Web Application Development, Center for Cyber Security, Center for Robotics, so like the Center for 3D Manufacturing. So like all these centers we have established and we are motivating the students to be a part of this. Apart from that, we have joined the hands with MNCs, multinational companies, like one is Google. So Google has chosen the campuses only on various parameters. Out of that, I'm happy to inform you that the CMR Technical Campus is one. From since last 2 years, they were providing the training for 100 plus students. And they requested them to finish off a course, Google Cloud Certified Programmer. And they have given a 20,000 worth of Coursera material, course and everything. Now, yesterday itself, I have received a mail from Google. If those who have undergone with this training, if they complete certification, they are going to offer a internship in Google itself for these people. And during of that internship, if they will perform, they are going to pay the stipend. And even if the best performers, directly they would like to take them into Google itself. Now such opportunities are there, but student perspective, what is happening? High expectation at the starting itself.
So very excellent point.
As we are looking at the question, free
Yes.
intern.
Very, very good point, Sujan sir. The reason I keep telling people, it's like getting an internship in a company, it's almost like doing an advance reservation. You know, it's like when you are smart enough, if you approach companies and if you start talking to different people, if you negotiate, if you start working with different people, as sir was rightly mentioning, sometimes when you work, see today, anyone, like you're from an IIT or you're from any college, you're from CMRTC or anywhere, if you are talented, you get an opportunity. The first thing is like when you utilize these opportunities, what happens is like, first you should understand yourself, and then when you utilize that opportunity, you are known by what you are. If you are an intern, you get a foot in the door, you get an access to a company. I don't want to leave you because I catch them young. People try to block people before giving a job opportunity itself. I know a lot of people in third year of a premier college or a smart kid will be confirmed with a job offer in his third year itself. And this, let's say, a very simple example was sir was mentioning was a GCP certification. Very small example is if you are a GCP certified Google Cloud programmer and you drop a mail, you check out, you go to T-Hub, you go to any startup company also. Leave Google. I'm talking about companies which use Google Cloud credits. You can obviously tell, like, boss, I'm a GCP certified guy. I'm happy to work as a backend programmer for you, a cloud guy for you. They will welcome you because you are a certified guy. So, and at least you'll get a certification, you'll get real-time work experience, and tomorrow there is a dependency created. So there is no need of a recession or no need of worrying whether you'll get a job or not. The job is reserved for you. So that's the smartest way. People do a certification, but they don't know how to utilize that certification also. If they know how to utilize that certification, then the value of it will go up. So some smart folks understand it, and this session is also for that purpose itself, where you should know how to utilize the opportunities which are around you. Yeah. People who are pessimistic keep blaming about the whole thing again and again. They don't utilize the opportunity, as simple as that. And I keep telling, if you're not technical, at least look at non-technical area and start growing. That is far better than investing your time somewhere else. Yeah, there are many new companies offering internships, whether it's a genuine internship or not. Always do a background check, always spend some time, Google about it, check whether who are your old interns, and always do the background check of a company, and always it's a credibility factor. You should know, like someone says that I will give internships, but people should know how to check the background of the organization also. Yeah. What is that organization, what does that company do, how long it has been, and all these questions should be there. And you should always ask questions to the company and to the even any it's not only internship, even with a job also you should always ask tough questions to the other person. Yeah.
Charan, I hope if it is possible, okay, if you will take it in a positive manner, so can you explain the journey of your STUMAX from since last 5 years?
Oh, thank you, sir. Maybe I thought I was just sticking to the topic. That's the reason I was not talking about what I do. So one.
No. The reason behind asking this question is I'm personally even closely observing you. So many ups and downs you are also faced in this particular journey, but still you are on top. You are maintaining it.
Thank you, sir. It's the best wishes of senior academicians like everyone, and Gopal Reddy Garu has been a great inspiration, has been a support for us in our journey too. So I keep telling one thing, I graduated from an affiliated college to a JNTU itself. Unfortunately, I didn't study in CMR. I would have been very happy to have that bond, as then Nikhil would have invited me in the alumni series itself, not for the expert talks. So, but the whole concept there is like when there are talented students everywhere, why can't we have a platform for them to get discovered by the companies? That's the only basis that I started StuMags. The word magazine was kind of a platform. A magazine has a classifieds, a magazine has a job page, a magazine has different things. So the whole idea started with student magazine became StuMags. So in the year 2014, I resigned Infosys. I was working with Infosys Campus Connect. I was going to different colleges. Whenever I met students, I felt there are no different than students from BITS Pilanis or IITs and stuff. The only difference between them and us is the self motivation. We expect in these colleges someone to do something to us. We expect some college guy should tell that you have to learn something. We expect someone else to teach us something. The difference in a bigger college is he is a go-getter. He keeps learning something new. And he's always on a pedestal because his alumni made that college go to the next level. It all depends in a private college whether you are a student who wants your juniors to be happier. So that's where StuMags started. We started out as a student discovery platform. We helped the thousands of students and in getting opportunities. People worked in companies like Uber, Rapidos, and all these premier startups. They hired interns. Even companies like Dr. Reddy Laboratories have hired through StuMags. And even we had lots of writers and cultural people also. Some people became good writers. We always have an editorial team. For StuMags, CMRTC also, we are looking for people who can join the editorial team. Even Nikhil can coordinate that. So there are some people who went into the cultural space. So we always believe in exploring and discovering talents from the colleges who can get a right platform and they can get discovered so that they can add value to the college too. Yeah. It has been 4.5 years that company has been started. As Srujan sir said, it was a roller coaster journey. You keep, it's all about, you always live on a hope, and it's very tough to convince something that you need a digital platform to people because it was not a necessity before. Now, blessing in disguise, thanks to COVID and Corona and all these lockdown, digital campus is becoming more important now. Yeah.
Thank you, Charan, because I still remember of our discussion about the StuMags in 2014.
Right, sir.
At least I still remember it went more than 1 hour.
Yes, sir. I completely agree, sir. Like you are always futuristic. At least as you know, you are part of Computer Society and other organizations too. And you were telling that colleges should go digital. Very few people understand the whole importance, and now everyone is thinking going digital is very normal.
Absolutely.
So students, guys, like people who joined, I give like you can just check out the StuMags platform also. And in future, we wanted to work very closely and make you understand what are the opportunities, how can we get opportunities, and how to write to a company, how to source a company. These are the very finesse things. Maybe we can work with each other. And in the coming days, I'm happy to create a support and do connect. We will have from StuMags platform, we will connect lots of mentors also to you from the industry. Someone working in Microsoft AI level, someone working in different companies to you through the StuMags VIP platform. Do subscribe, and I'm also available on all social media. Sri Charan Lakkaraju. You can just check out and reach out for any help in the offline. Yeah, and thanks
Charan,
for the.
I would like to end up with requesting one more thing. So I request you to do a exclusive session for +2 passed out students now, because they are the young aspiring engineers, or they would like to do something to the society and all. So I request you to come up with a session. So definitely CMR Technical Campus is also going to support with you.
Sure, sir. We will plan for it for sure. We'll plan for it. Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
for your valuable suggestion.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Nikhil, carry on.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. If students, if you have any question, we can take last 1 or 2 questions. I think we don't have any questions. So I've shared the website links www.stumax.com, and you can also download application from Play Store Stumax, and you can connect with Charan and other mentors. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you everyone for joining the session.
Thank you, one and all.